Hi, my name is Christina Hills, and I want to tell you my story of becoming an entrepreneur, taking control of my business, and building my own websites. Well, my story begins when I quit my corporate job. This might sound familiar to you. I was working in special effects for George Lucas's company, Industrial Light and Magic, and it was a wonderful job. Believe me, I loved it. But I had a baby and I wanted to stay home and I wanted to work from home. And I realized now was the time to become an entrepreneur when I still had a little baby. What I did was I started building websites, and I quickly learned and I quickly niched as the shopping cart queen, where I taught people how to integrate their shopping carts with their website. Well, what happened? What was the problem? The website, the webmasters. That was the problem my clients were having with getting their shopping carts integrated. So people said to me, "Hey Christina, you know Dreamweaver, why don't you teach it?" And I said, no, I am not going to teach Dreamweaver. Typical normal entrepreneurs, non-techie types, do not want to learn Dreamweaver. Then I learned with my husband that you could build a website using WordPress and it didn't have to be a blog. I thought, all right, this is it. See, what we did was he kind of challenged me. My daughter was in the Nutcracker, and this little dance studio, they didn't have any website. So my husband said to me, "Hey, let's build it in WordPress." I said, "No, these dancers, they're never going to know how to put something together in WordPress." And he said, look, it's really easy. Let me show you." So we hunted around, we found a theme, we got it installed, boom, and I said, whoa, this is it. This is the solution. WordPress is the solution for non-techie people to build their websites without a webmaster. Here's the thing. If you're thinking now, "Oh, Christina, why do I want to build my site myself? I don't have time." Here's why you need to build it yourself. The one simple fact of marketing. Your website is your marketing. It is your face to the world. It's how people find you. And if you don't know how to build it yourself, if you don't know how to put up headlines, put up blog posts, articles, change your copy, come up with ideas, execute them, you're going to be dead in the water waiting around for some web guy to get your site ready. Okay? That is the reason. This is why it is so important for you to know how to be in control, run your business, and create your website with me in the Website Creation Workshop. So let's go over my do-it-yourself website creation checklist now. If you haven't already downloaded and printed this, you'll find a link to it here on this page, right below this video. And in this video, I'm going to show you the essential pages you need to attract your ideal clients. I'll share my advice on what makes these pages successful, and I'll also show you which pages you can wait till later to do, so you can get your website up and running for you as quickly as possible. Maybe you are getting started building your business and have never had a website before. Or maybe your current website just isn't working for you. You've been working with a web person who's gone AWOL and you just want to take control and do it yourself. Now, there's a lot to learn in order to end up with an effective website that works to get you more clients, and that's why I've put this report and checklist and little video together for you. You know, it's easy to look at some famous celebrity website and say, "I want mine to look just like that." But many websites have a lot of extra bells and whistles on them and don't actually help you to get more clients or sell more programs. Things you either don't need at all or really you can wait until later to add to your website. This checklist will help you understand the essential pages you must include in your website, which pages you need to do first, and what can wait until later. So let's get started. Phase 1, essential elements in your client attracting website. These elements can't be skipped. Incorporate just these 6 pages to start and you're ready for business. So let's start your home page. Your home page needs to have a goal. What do you want people to do when they land on your website? Your website is something that people will visit to first learn more about you, so you want it to make a good impression. You need to have a goal in mind when you create your homepage. So, what kind of goal? Well, what do you want someone to do? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to sign up for a free session? Do you want them to join your email list? Buy something from your website? Register for something? This is all called a call to action. What action do you want the visitor to take? The key is to focus and try not to do too many things at once with your homepage. You should have one primary goal, and then you can link to other parts of your website for other things that you want people to do or other places they might be interested in. An About Us page. This is where you show who you are, whom you serve, and why people would want to work with you. It's also known as your bio page. And if you are a company, instead of it being about me, it would be about us, plural. Now, typically, this page is written in the third person, as if someone else is talking about you. You can put your purpose for being in business, who your ideal clients are and why, and any credentials or accomplishments you have here. Now, you'll want to decide if your About page is going to be about you or about your whole company. Another important feature of your About page is having a photo of yourself. People want to get to know you and your company. So have a picture of yourself or your store or your team, whether it's a group of you or an individual, but it's super important. I go to websites and I click to the About Us page and there's no picture, and I'm immediately suspicious. Why are they not showing who they are? So, especially if you're a coach or a consultant and people are hiring you as the expert, you definitely want to have a photo on your About Us page. Now, the next page is a contact page. And I've got a picture here of a little telephone, but you want your contact page to have all different ways people can reach you. You want to have your phone number, email address, snail mail address. You may want to put your social media links on your contact page as well if people want to get a hold of you that way. Some people have a form because they don't want their email address just listed there, and that's fine to have a form, but you definitely want to have multiple ways that people can get a hold of you. So many people make mistakes with their contact page. So this page needs to restate you or your business name. List your phone number, email address, where you can be reached. Plus, you should add a physical or mailing address as well. I see many websites these days that leave off the important address information. Instead, they just have a contact form that asks people to submit. Big mistake. People want to know where you are and that you are real before doing business with you. With an address, it helps to give you that credibility. They might want to know what state or country or region you're located in, so let them know that. It's okay to be virtual. My business is a virtual company. People like to know, I live in California. So the next two pages I'm going to talk about is your products page and or a services page. Now, you may not have products yet. That's okay. You can skip over a products page, or you may have products and not services, so you could skip the services page. So this one and the next one, you can pick one or the other. And I just want to reassure you, don't feel you need to have products early in your online business. I was a consultant for many years before I created my first product. But anyway, if you have products, here's where you spell out your products or programs. A product is anything you sell online that is not private consulting. It could be group coaching, events, digital products, online courses, physical products, etc. There are many ways to name your products page on the menu of your website. So some examples could be programs, products, trainings. You can start with just one page of products, and then as you get more, you can either add them to the same page or have a different product page for each product. There's lots of different ways you can set that up. your services page. Now, if you offer services, here's where you will spell out your services or the consulting you offer people. It could be phone consulting, in-person consulting, one-on-one coaching, etc. Providing services for people is a great way to transition from a corporate job to becoming an online entrepreneur. It's how I got started in my business, as I mentioned before. I did setup services for people before I started my group coaching and training programs. And there are many ways to name your services page on the menu of your website. You could call it services, private coaching, work with me, whatever seems appropriate to you. And you can start with just one page of services, or you can have more than one depending upon what you want to offer people as you are building your website. Frequently asked questions. Do you often get asked the same questions from your customers and prospects? So a frequently asked questions page, also known as a FAQ page, is where you list commonly asked questions and answers to make it easy for your website visitors to find the information they are looking for. Also, having an FAQ page on your website possibly can reduce the amount of time you spend responding to customer inquiries. So some examples of what to have on an FAQ page could either be how people work with you, or it could be FAQs defining the terms in your industry. So one example might be, how do you work with your clients? And then you answer, this is my process for working with clients. Or an FAQ could be something like, what is business coaching? Or what are essential oils? So I think you get the idea. You get to decide what kind of FAQ questions you want to answer. Not only does it make it easier for you, reducing the same questions you answer over and over again, but it makes it helpful for your website visitors. It lets them find answers to their simple questions anytime they want. Phase 2, elements in your client attracting website. Now this phase 2 is something that you should do after you've gotten your website up and live. So these are things that are nice to have and you should have, but I don't want it to hold you back from getting your site up. Remember, it's important to get your website started, then you can go back and improve it. Testimonials page. Do you have testimonials or rave reviews from clients or customers you've worked with? Well, this is a place where you would showcase the success stories or case studies of those people. Find recent clients and ask them to give you a testimonial. Testimonials are best to collect right after you've worked with a person, when they are still feeling the warm glow of success with you. But you can still go back to your old clients or customers and ask for testimonials later. Happy clients and happy customers are almost always willing to give you a testimonial. It's also a great way to get feedback to improve your products or services. So when you ask for a testimonial and somebody doesn't want to give you one, just ask them, hey, what went wrong and what could I have done better? So here's some different ideas to name your testimonials page. You could call them case studies, success stories, or simply testimonials. And don't worry if you only have a couple. You can add more as you get more clients and customers. Blog or newsletter. Now, although this is optional, I highly recommend you have a blog. And I say blog or newsletter because some people don't like the term blog. They like to think of it as their newsletter. And a blog is a wonderful way to show that you know something, that you're an expert in your area. When people come to your website, they want to know who you are, what you think, and what you stand for. Your home page and your About Us page will get them off to a good start, but give them more. On your blog, write articles sparked from common questions people have about working with someone like you or topics in your industry. Create article-style titles for your blog posts, and people will find them when they search in Google. You can also share them and have your friends and clients share them on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media sites, which in turn will bring more potential clients to your website. So you don't need a blog when you first start, but I highly recommend keeping it in mind and adding it as you grow your website. Policy pages. Policy pages, privacy policy, terms and conditions, earning disclaimers. These are the kinds of pages that you need to have on your site. But you don't want this little detail to hold you back from getting your site live. Now, I know it might seem heresy to suggest this, but I really don't want you to get tangled up in creating these right away and keep your site from going live. Look, just get your website up and done with a message that will attract your clients first. You can add the links to the legal stuff at the footer of your website later. But you want to do this after your core main pages of your website done. Now these 3 phase 2 that I just gave you are all good ideas, and you're definitely going to want to have them, but you don't want it to slow you down. You want to focus on getting the essential message of your website done first. And when you do, you'll actually complete a website that brings you new clients. Okay, so let me just recap the do-it-yourself website creation checklist. So remember, I have 2 checklists in this PDF document, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 are the essential elements in your client attracting website, and you can mark off if you're currently working in progress or if you've completed it. It's your website call to action goal, an about page, contact page, products page, and or services page, and a FAQ page. Check off when you've completed and you can leave some notes. Get your site live after you have these. Then you want to move on to phase 2. Create a testimonials page and continually add to it. Start a blog or newsletter. This will add content to your site, making your site more attractive to search engines. And you want to put in your policy pages at the bottom. So that's it. That's your do-it-yourself website creation checklist. And I want to invite you to join me for a free live demonstration and training webinar. Just go to websitecreationworkshop.com/webinar. This is Christina Hills.